Morning, lads.
Tina Hobley on Smooth Radio.
Shut up. Shut up. Fucking Smooth Radio. Smooth in a minute. Ah! Fucking hell. Right. And a clown day. What start to a video? Yeah, guys, I've been a little. No, I've not been away. I've been posting videos on a regular basis, but just updates with the physique and stuff. I've not done that in a while. So yeah, this video we're going to be going through changes. A couple of things have happened in the background in terms of I've got myself a new coach, and yeah, just give you a little bit of an update with how things have gone. So if you've been keeping up, you kept up with the first video, or you watched the first video of me going over the diet and going into this fat loss phase, I was 197 or 198 pounds. Yesterday I weighed in at 185.5. That's a bit of an anomaly though. That was a mouthful. That's a bit of an anomaly. That's a bit of an It shouldn't have happened, right? Okay, it should have happened. It was a I can't fucking say the word. Oh my god. Basically, it was an anomaly. Yeah, because I went. Fuck's sake! How can anyone take me serious? Sorry, I apologise for my fucking stupidity. But yeah, 185.5, and that was just down to the fact I went out on Saturday. I saved a meal while I missed a meal, the final one of the day, and then accommodated that for a few drinks. Obviously the white rum protocol got put in place. I had like 4 or 5 doubles, and then I woke up the next day 4 pounds down. 4 pounds down, and I felt that one. Definitely. I got back from the and again, this is why drinking is no good, man. I got back from that it was a friend's birthday, a family friend's birthday party, and I got back and I was thinking, oh, what could I eat? And the temptation to eat something was so high, but you know what? I didn't. I went to bed. I firmed it. I fucking firmed it, and I went straight to bed. And that was that took some willpower. I tell you, that took some bloody willpower. It's fucking tough. But yeah, we did that, went to bed, woke up the next day 185.5, over 4 pounds down, and then obviously woke up again this morning back to 189, which is after eating the normal meals, after eating every single meal plus drinking the normal amount of fluid that I normally have. And yeah, we're back up to where we kind of were the day before that. So, or maybe a little bit lower. But yeah, things are going smoothly at the moment. I got myself a new coach. Now, reason being, I was coaching myself for a long time. And I'll be honest, whilst I'm obviously, like, coaching yourself it's not like it's not impossible. I just don't like doing it because my emotions get to me, right? I think like anyone, it's like when people say to me, I'm just going to try it myself, bro. Just going to do it myself instead of like working with a coach. And I'm like, I'm working with someone that can help guide them and has been through the process multiple times, understands the struggles, understands what they're going through and the frustrations, but they still want to try it themselves. And sometimes you just got to try it yourself to realise it's fucking difficult when you do it yourself because emotions are involved. You will either end up running yourself into the ground if you're fucking crazy like me and you just want to get things over and done with and do too much and eat too little, or you'll end up half-arsing it and have no accountability to the point where you get fuck all done. It's important, in my opinion, to have a coach, whether you are someone that just wants to drop body fat or you want to build some muscle, because people tend to go for a coach when they're struggling with fat loss. But in my opinion, one of the hardest things to do is get the most out of either phase. So whether you're gaining or whether you're losing fat, when you're gaining, you're going to get to a point where you don't want to eat any more food, and the accountability isn't going to be there, and the temptation to miss meals is fucking high. And when you're losing fat, there will be a point where you have to dig a little bit harder, you have to push a little bit harder, you have to embrace the hunger a little bit more. And if you've not got anyone to keep you accountable, it's hard, right? Not that it's not possible, it's hard. And this is where it gets to the point where it's like, well, should I drop more food? Should I increase more cardio? Should I do more steps? Should I change drugs? The drugs protocol, right? Don't take drugs, kids. Don't just... Obviously, I do want to cover this as well. Yes, I do take performance-enhancing drugs. It's not something that I keep secret. It's just one of them. I started at the wrong time. I started at a time when I probably shouldn't. And obviously, now I know a lot more. I'm more educated around it, but I still do take performance-enhancing drugs. If you are someone that is going to go down that route, please do have everything in fucking check first. I'm not a doctor, so when I am talking about the drugs that I'm using, when I'm talking about the potential amounts that I'm using as well, because that is something that I do want to cover, that doesn't mean you do the same. End of discussion. You don't do the same as what I am doing, right? Because what I am doing is relative to me, and if you do decide to go down that route, because whether you're competing or not, I feel like some people just go on it because they want to, and if you're an adult, fucking do it, but just have your finances in check and make sure that you are actually being consistent in a majority of fucking areas first before you even think about going on it, because I didn't, and I ruined my body initially for it, and I will talk about that in a separate video. Yeah, because I don't think I've actually talked about that on here. So yeah, so having a coach is invaluable, in my opinion. Having a coach is invaluable. That's where I was going with the conversation. And yeah, it's going smooth so far. Enjoying the new food, enjoying the protocol that we've adopted, and just want to see how far we can take it. We're going to be doing this now for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So the plan of timeline has changed a little bit, but the approach and the sort of look that I want to get out of the next 4 to 6 weeks, time is going to be dependent on the response. That's still the same. I still want to get fucking pretty lean before we pull out of the diet and then start growing again, because I want this gaining phase to be the most productive gaining phase that I've ever had in my life, ever. Right? So I want to come out of this fat loss phase. I want to be super responsive. I want to be super consistent with the amount of food that I'm eating, slowly titrate that food up over time, train like a fucking animal, and then fucking get some results, right? And get massive. That's the goal, to get massive. You gear head. Honestly, why I get clients come to me, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm proper. Like when I put content out like this, I think to myself, Tom, you've got to stop being a fucking idiot, otherwise people ain't going to take you seriously. But the thing is, this is me. When it comes to getting clients results, that is so fucking, that's separate. That is separate. That Tom right there is someone that actually brings out my educational side, and actually brings out the side of me that is a little bit more educated, that is a little bit smarter, that can make educated decisions and guessing, and like rather than playing a guessing game, I know how to get the best out of the individuals and the people that I work with. That's a different Tom. This Tom that you're going to see on YouTube, and when I'm doing videos like this where I'm vlogging and moving the camera back and forth and doing all this shit, this is just a bit more of me. Yeah, so you either like it or you don't. And I want people to work with me because they like me and because they want to see what I'm doing. And I want there to be a portion of people to dislike me as well, because if that is the case, then that is because I'm being myself. Simple. You're not going to be liked by everybody in this world, so you might as well just be your fucking self and get liked by the people that matter. Words of wisdom. I'm off, Jim. What day is it? Don't even know what time it is anymore. Phone's dead. Not really. It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. I can tell by the call my phone is actually dead. Voice is fucked. Voice is gone. I'm just. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm recording this segment right now, because I need to get back and eat. I've been at the gym for about 3 hours. Did my session. Obviously, that was good. Tough, but good. And then went straight into 33 minutes of cardio, because that's what we're doing right now. So yeah, your boy's absolutely written off. Just watching the footage back. Yeah, this was recorded last week. So what did I tell you I'm going to do? We're going to go into the process. Obviously, what I'm looking like now. So when I recorded that video, I was when I recorded this video last, it was just when I had a trim. So that would have been last Wednesday, and today we are on. No, it would have been last Friday. Today we're on Wednesday. No, today we're on. What am I on about? Today we're on Wednesday. No, we're not. What day is it? It's Saturday, you dickhead. So we're on Saturday. I don't know what day it is. What start to the video again? So always when I pick up the camera and start talking to it again, I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? So yeah, I'm going to show you what I'm looking like now. It's 1.8. I'm 188 this morning. Bang on the dot. So last week we touched 187. Or the other day, sorry, we touched 187 pounds, and today bang on 188. So it's going to fluctuate. It's going to fluctuate, and obviously what I want to show you is the comparison. So this is obviously the start point. That's what I was looking like at 197, £197. And this is what I'm looking like now. So put it there, at £188. So I found a comparison the other day that I want to show you. And I thought to myself, you know what, I've not made a lot of progress this year because post-show, I'm going to be fully transparent here. Post-show, I could have handled it better in a sense of I didn't give myself the runway of progression that I wanted. So when you finish competing, your hunger levels are through the fucking roof to the point where the first ever show that I did, my post-show went to shit because I just couldn't stop eating shit, right? The goal for the second show for me, or the second season, was to handle it better. And I handled it better. But what I did is I put my baseline food very high. I put it about 3,500 to 4,000 calories, just kept it there to stop me from eating like a dickhead. But it was all full of quality, clean food sources. So like rice, potatoes, chicken, beef, just whole food sources. And then obviously with, so with me doing that brain fart, 12 weeks, I did that for 12 weeks. And obviously from there, I finished the gaining phase too early, basically, because I pushed food too high from the get-go, which meant that there was kind of no more room for me to push. My appetite was tanked to the point where if I would have pushed the food up more, I would have just got sloppy and I would have just got fucking sick after meals. My digestion would have been in the bin. So we pulled back into this diet because of that, right? And I thought to myself, you know what, I've not made no progress because of that. I fucked it. And I've done a comparison from the point when I was on prep at 16 weeks out and I was £187 compared to now at 189. And the difference is fucking nuts. The difference is nuts because I look leaner and bigger now at 188 than I did at 187. Which to me is mind-boggling considering I didn't make the most out of the growth phase. I weren't on any anabolics. I was on 150 milligram of test per week for pretty much that duration. It was about 10 weeks on TRT, which puts me at about 29 nanomos on the scale when I get my bloods done for total testosterone. And that put me, that meant that I was probably on anabolics for about full 3 weeks. About 3 weeks I was on anabolics. And when I say I was on anabolics, I mean I was on then 300 milligrams of test. It weren't anything else. So I didn't spend a load of time on, you don't spend a lot of time on anabolics anyway, but there was no structure behind it in the sense of I didn't have a full phase of growing with my food significantly higher, pushing training up to a point where I'm obviously progressively overloading week in, week out, and also utilising performance enhancing drugs to obviously get the most bang for my buck with that particular phase, because that is just something that I do use to grow muscle. And that doesn't mean that you can't grow muscle naturally, it doesn't, but it's just that I wasn't expecting the look to be as it is from just 12 weeks of me eating a higher amount of food and just on TRT, which is like I said for me 150, or a cruise, which is 150 milligram a week. I didn't expect that. So yeah, quite refreshing knowing that I did, me handling it better with food quality and my training performance being the best it had ever been, still played a massive role and still helped me grow a decent amount of tissue just within that 12-week period, right? Now, at the moment, this is what we're going to be doing moving forwards. So cardio is now 5 times 33 minutes. The only days that we don't do it on is legs, and other than that, it's 33 minutes at a time. Do I know why it's 33 minutes? I think it's just because the first 3 minutes you're going to be getting your heart rate up, right? So that's why Tom, who's my new coach, likes to schedule in 33 minutes. And yes, I've got 2 water bottles because I like to stay hydrated. But yeah, first couple of minutes you're going to be getting your heart rate up, which is why 33 minutes makes sense. And in terms of anabolics right now, and again, please do not take this as fucking... Please don't use this as he's taking that, I must take that, or why is he being so open about anabolic steroids? Maybe he's promoting it. I'm not promoting it. This is just a part of the process, and this is just something that I'm doing myself. It was my choice to do it. And when I'm putting these things out here, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm not advising. This is just a part of my process, okay? And I want to be as honest and as transparent as I can be on this page. Right, and like I said, do not do what I do. Right, do not just go on for the sake of it. Do not try to look for a way to build muscle faster by utilizing performance enhancing drugs unless you've truly thought about, unless you live the lifestyle, you eat quality food, you sleep well, you train hard, and you've thought about it for a long time, and you understand the kind of repercussions of what can happen through performance enhancing drug usage. But yeah, in terms of PED usage right now, and what's actually in at the moment is 300 milligram of mast, 300 milligram of testosterone, and Anavar on training days, and Clen. Yeah, they're the lipolytics and PEDs that's in use. So there are auxiliaries in there and sort of health supplements that are in there, but again, they're non-negotiable regardless. And I can do a separate video on that again if people would find that useful. Just talking about the sort of things that you should be putting into your arsenal in terms of health supplementation to make sure that you're looking after your insides, your heart, your liver, your kidney, your cholesterol, your digestive system, all of that stuff. I can make a separate video on that. But yeah, that's what I'm taking right now in terms of PEDs. And yeah, the plan is to run with this diet now for another 4 weeks-ish. So 4 to 6 weeks. I'm making sure that it's not 6 weeks because I'm at that point now where, to be honest, I'm happy with the level of body fat that I'm getting to, and I think we could probably be done within the next 2 to 3. But it all depends on how far Tom wants to take it in terms of getting the body fat or where the body fat wants to be nice and responsive to grow. And the goal when we start growing is just to handle it in a way where it's meticulous, or just as fucking meticulous as what I would kind of control a diet with. That level of control, what I'd have on a diet, I want that level of control when I'm growing. And that can be the difference between a 12-week gaining phase and a 24-week gaining phase, which is the goal. I want to be able to push with food and progressively overload with training for as long as I physically can and keep appetite in a really good spot. And I'll be documenting that process fully in terms of what I'm going to be doing in terms of food and everything else, just so you can kind of be aware of how that's going to look. But the goal with the gaining phase is always to be able to do it for as long as your body can physically push for. That doesn't always include anabolics, by the way. All right, you pull them out at a point and go into a health phase or a cruise, and you can still push food high. You can still progress. You don't need anabolics in to progress week in, week out. You can still progress physically whilst when that gets pulled down. Okay, so you can't just fucking take anabolics all the time. Please be aware of that. And that's not what I'm going to be doing. But they are in at the moment, and they probably will be in at the start of the gaining phase, all relative to what blood work is saying. And the stack will probably be adjusted when we do get blood work ran at the end of this diet, just to see where things are at in terms of health. And obviously from that point, that's where we'll start to make adjustments to the actual stack itself, which is probably going to include taking out Clen, obviously, because you don't need that. That's a lipolytic, purely based on fat loss and increasing the amount of calories that you burn at rest. And also Anavar, which definitely will be pulling that out because it's incredibly liver toxic, which I expect to have an effect on blood work negatively. But again, we're not going to know until we get blood work done at the end of this diet. Okay, but yeah, that's the goal. Finish off this diet now in the next 2 to 4 weeks. I'm hoping it's 2 weeks, to be honest, because I'm ready to eat. So I'm going to be doing as much as I can to make it fucking 2 weeks. But if it lasts 4, it lasts 4, and then we can get the food back in. We can start growing. Get blood work done, assess that, make sure everything's in a good spot, or rectify what needs to be rectified to get as healthy as I physically can. And yeah, then we go into a gaining phase and push for as long as we can and grow as much tissue as we possibly can. And right now, in terms of competing, I wasn't even going to think about competing again, to be honest. But then there's just something inside me that feels like the job's not done. And it's not a case of, I want to be an IFBB pro. I don't give a fuck. I do not want to be a pro bodybuilder. And it's unrealistic to think I'm going to be a pro, because it's not going to happen. I don't want it to happen because I feel like I'd have to push things too extreme with everything, because genetically I'm not that good in terms of my response, and I'm realistic. To become a pro when you aren't very responsive, that means that gear would have to go higher than I'm willing to push it, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, longevity for me is massively important, and health is a massive fucking thing which some people put to the back when they pursue bodybuilding, and I don't ever think that should be the case. The risk to reward for me is just not there. But I do feel like I want to be better. I do feel like I actually want to go into a show with the mindset of I actually might be able to win. I might actually stand up to some bigger guys, because at the moment, when I competed last, I didn't. I went into the first show and it was just me in the class, so obviously I fucking won, but I'm only going to win because it's me, just me. In the second show, every fucker was bigger than me. I was the leanest, but I feel like I brought that condition and the sort of the leanness that I really wanted to bring, but I just weren't the biggest. And I feel like for me to compete again, it's all going to be relative to size, and it's going to be relative to whether I feel like I'm going to be good enough to win. And then after that, after we've done one more season, maybe at the end of 2026 or maybe early 2027, and I think I'll be done. But I feel like I want to compete once more, and I feel like I've just got something in me that feels like I'm not done. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And this next growth phase is going to dictate how much tissue we can add during this time. So yeah, that's the video, guys. So that's an update on where I'm at right now, what things are looking like, how long we are going to be pushing in terms of this diet for now. And yeah, that's everything. If anyone's got any questions, just fire it in the comments below. And subscribe for future videos to keep up to date with the process, and also some educational videos around fat loss, training, muscle building, all that jazz. So yeah, if you like the video, drop the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll catch you in the next video.